Here. Fred Miller.
Here.
Nick Lovell.
Here.
Brian Moyer.
Present.
Mary Brenneman. Here. Danielle Brenneman. Here. Stephen Yerger.
Here.
Charles Thompson.
Over here.
Wayne Sullivan.
Here. All people are present. Ms. Brenneman, would you rise and say the pledge of allegiance for the moment of silence? And those of you that don't know, Darth Vader died today, so please, voice.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
James Earl Jones. 93 years old. Okay. Annual spotlight. So, excuse me, I apologize. It's the annual employee spotlight directed by Dr. Timothy Mitchell.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Gary, can you pull up the pictures, please? This year, we're spotlighting a number of our outstanding staff who began our school year, so I'd just like to share what we have shared about them. Our community and staff praises Lee for the work and the dedication that he has for our district. Michelle Durange was actually the person who nominated Lee, and she specifically commended him for how gracious he is with her kindergarten class, all the requests that she's provided. She states that he listens very intently, knows exactly what is needed and what she envisions, and he always has a smile on his face when he's there with the kindergartners. He is a perfect example of an outstanding staff member for the district. In the upper right-hand corner, you'll see Cindy Staub. Cindy won this a second time. The community always shares that she goes above and beyond to help with any athletic or any maintenance a department needs. She's kind, she's patient, she's an incredible resource for our families. Littlestown will be lost without her hard work and her commitment. So we're very excited to announce Cindy Staub as an outstanding staff member as well. Who you'll see now in the lower right-hand corner is our ACES outstanding teaching staff. And this is Mrs. Justine Garman. Mrs. Garman received an outpouring of support for this award. Parents described her as nurturing, patient, and a great communicator. Former students shared that she always used the best methods and help make learning fun and interesting for her students. We couldn't agree more, and she helps our students grow academically. She's also one who went above and beyond this summer and worked in our summer pre-K program, or early childhood program. In the very center at the bottom is Mrs. Tracy Willett. Mrs. Tracy Willett is the outstanding teacher at MAMS. One of the things that was really great about Mrs. Willett is that she always helps her students feel comfortable. She always makes them feel heard and appreciated. And she's always there, not only in the classroom, but even at events such as a football or a baseball game or a softball game to see and cheer them on. She makes the students feel important in and out of the classroom. And our very last outstanding teacher of the school year, or of the year, is Mrs. Michaela Flos. Mrs. Michaela Flos teaches social studies and French. She's a second-time award winner, and her students love her enthusiasm. They love how she makes learning fun. She gets to know her students, and they can talk to her without feeling judged. Littlestown thanks her for her dedication to her students and the dedication that she has for the district. All of the representatives here are our staff spotlight for this time, and we felt as though since they were outstanding staff and they worked so hard and it's the beginning of the year, we wanted to not pressure them to feel that they needed to come to the board meeting, but we wanted to be able to show their pictures to the board in case you have any questions or would like to share any information that you might have about them.
Anybody have any questions or comments to Dr. Mitchell?
Just congratulations to all of the staff that make our district run. I mean, one of the things that I think everybody says about our district, one of the highlights is our people. And
apologize to everybody that's out there. I was truly amiss. A little senior citizen moment. I will buy a bottle of Geritol for next meeting, but I forgot to read a couple things. This is a meeting of the Littlestown Area School Board of Directors. This is a live in-person meeting open to the public in accordance with the Sunshine Act. By participating in this meeting, you are consenting to the recording, retention, and future viewing of this meeting. In addition, a board member is video audio taping this meeting for his own personal use. This recording is not supported or maintained by the district or the board and should not be considered an authorized recording. This meeting is also being live streamed as a convenience to the public. In the event the live stream fails or cannot be transmitted for any reason, the in-person meeting will continue without interruption. And again, I apologize. I forgot that part. Okay. The other important part we have is public comment. Yes, ma'am.
Really quick, we have a guideline that we put in place.
But everybody's following the guidelines, so
Okay,
at this
perfect.
point, there's no reason to approach that situation as it goes from bad to worse.
Perfect.
Okay, so-
Thank you.
So since we don't have anything, I appreciate the input. Public comment. We now recognize the members of the public who have signed up to provide comment as stipulated in policy 903. When your name is called, please approach the podium, state your name, confirm you're a resident or a taxpayer in the district, and topic of your discussion for the record. Please direct your comments to the board as a whole, not in an individual. We will ask that you limit your comments to 5 minutes or less. The privilege to speak may be interrupted, revoked, or recessed of the meeting may be called by the chair if the speaker does not observe reasonable decorum and orderly conduct. Thank you. First name is Donna Bayless. Did I get the last name right?
Sure.
I should ask pronunciation while I was out there. I apologize.
Good evening. Dear members of Littlestown County, Littlestown Borough County, Council, and Littlestown Area School Board. So I am a resident and a taxpayer here in Littlestown. Okay? As residents of Littlestown and representatives of Littlestown Watchdog, we are writing to call for a critical improvement on how meetings are conducted and shared with the community. Specifically, we ask, I'm sorry, did I continue?
Go ahead. Go ahead. No, Lord.
Okay. And shared with the community. Specifically, we ask that all council and school board meetings be streamed online and made easily accessible to all residents. We understand that the school board has audio, which is a big step, and we appreciate that, but it is still simply not enough. Many of the hearing impaired or might not know who is speaking. Discussions are very hard to follow, and sometimes people simply can't digest audio only. We recently took the initiative to record, transcribe, and share a council meeting. We had a total of 3 people, one with video, one with audio, and one to compile both into a blog post along with a transcription in which software was used to transcribe the audio. We had the post up before midnight that same night with all 3 mediums for composition. The responses we received from the community was immediate and clear. Within just a few days, hundreds of people assessed the video, audio, and transcription that we posted. These residents would have otherwise had to wait over 2 weeks for the official meeting minutes, which often leave out important context and discussions that affect the entire community. This demonstrates a clear and overwhelming demand for access, up-to-date information regarding local government decisions. Waiting for minutes that don't provide full coverage is not sufficient for a community that seeks to stay informed and involved. Ensuring that borough and school board meetings comply with the Americans with Disabilities Act is not just a matter of convenience, it is legal requirement under Title II. The ADA mandates that public entities such as councils and school boards provide accessible meeting formats for individuals with disabilities, whether the meetings are held in person or online. This includes providing closed caption for video content, transcriptions for audio discussion, and ensuring that documents are compatible with screen readers for the visibly impaired. Non-compliance of these standards can lead to legal consequences, but more importantly, it excludes individuals from fully participating in the governance of their own community. Making meetings ADA compliant benefits not just individuals with disabilities, but the entire community. Accessible meeting formats such as captioned video streams and searchable transcripts allows parents, busy residents, and those unable to attend in person to stay informed. By ensuring that meetings are ADA compliant, borough councils and school boards foster a more inclusive, informed, and engaged community. This is about accessibility for all, ensuring that everyone has the opportunity to stay informed, regardless of their circumstances. This is not just for the disabled, elderly, or for those with busy lives. It benefits everyone, whether it's a parent juggling work and family or a resident who cannot attend meeting in person. Making these meetings available online allows them to participate in the governance of their own community. We believe that taking this important step would strengthen our community's connection to local leadership and ensure that more people, have the ability to understand and engage with the important decisions being made in this arena. We respectfully urge the Littlestown Borough Council and Littlestown School District to implement video streaming of all meetings as soon as possible. Doing so will ensure that your residents are not left behind or uninformed. Thank you for considering this request. Sincerely, Littlestown Watch Dogs.
Okay. And Kathy Griffin.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kathy Griffin. I'm a taxpayer in the community. I would like first to express the excitement of the start of the school year and how great it is to see the joy of all the smiles of the children and the teachers' faces. The excitement is really out there that I see. I know that the start of the school year is always a struggle, but you guys are building a great team. I would like to thank Dr. Bell. You have been an incredible value to this school district and will be missed. Your years of knowledge and most of all your wisdom from all your years of experience and challenges will be instilled in this district and continue with the current administration and especially the school board. Several months ago at one of the meetings, Mr. Lovell gave the dollar amount of what you saved this district since you've been here. I know that that number has gone up, and Mr. Lovell, if you could please update those numbers sometime, I would greatly appreciate it. I'd love to hear them. The school board's choice for hiring Dr. Missel and Dr. Berryman was also another great decision. They will continue to be the tremendous value to this school board, administration, and the school district. I also wanted to comment on the website person or persons that input the data to the school website. This information is very detailed and very informative. Examples, I went in and I was reading in detail, the whole community can go in and look at it. Like September 6th, I read that the new bus has arrived and was purchased $25,000 under the projected project, the cost of it. Also, there's other benefits that are listed there of the bus purchase and the children's safety. So I also saw Dr. Mitchell posted improving in communication between families and school districts. It's called Rooms. It was very interesting to read it, and I would like to hear more details if you had time at tonight's meeting. I would advise everyone to check out the website. It is very informative and comes straight from the correct sources and the truth in the district. I have read over the agenda and the regular meeting agenda, and I have some concerns and issues myself. Most, I feel, will be answered at this meeting tonight because it's a work session and you work and you have discussions. Issues that were brought up about the M Protective Agreement for the substitute security officer. After last week's board meeting, there was discussion on this agreement with a board president and a resident. to which the resident recorded the conversation, then posted clips stating that the president was arguing with her. I plus others heard that whole conversation, and the president was not arguing
That's
and
not
was
what I
just
said.
trying to explain it to the person who has a one-track mind. This shows one of the reasons the board is writing a recording policy. There have been comments that I heard about ADA compliant issues. It has nothing to do with the ADA of not seeing or hearing. All anyone has to do is go to the large designated area, which you have plenty of ample room, set up your camera and a tripod, and make sure you have all the board members in the screen and hit the play button. The quality of the camera is what detects the audio and the video. False information of a board member not wanting to be video recorded. She has no problem being video recorded if done the right way and for the right reason, and not by another board member or a resident that are using the video for defamation. I'm familiar with other Adams County school districts and organizational charts and chain of command. I was looking at the agenda, and I have a concern that the nurses should not be in the same category as the teachers in this chain of command. Each school principal and assistant principal should be focused on education, discipline, and much more for the children and not the medical side. Correct me if I am wrong, but I don't think that these people have medical degrees. The nurses need to report to one leader. The nurses also go off-site for LIU and have cyber school responsibilities. All these departments are handled, that I noted from the chart, under different leaders, and also the mental health issues that are listed separately with the director of the pupil services. The nurses deal with all this. The nurses will have medical concerns that need addressed ASAP and do not have time to go through the channel of so many people. To whom will be in charge of the scheduling the nurses' staff meetings? These should not be included in the educational meetings. Again, that was just my opinion and past experiences from other schools. An example that I've seen in the past at one of the other districts was a child was having an issue, and the nurse was skilled in seeing that the child was not having a seizure and knew right away that the child was having an overdose, a drug overdose, and proceeded accordingly to save that child. The nurse later found out from other mental health departments that this child had a history of trying to commit suicide, and the nurse was never informed of this. Communication is important in the medical field. We are talking about the health of the children, and nurses needs to be classified as a separate department for one leader to report to. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I know you tried.
I was good.
Okay.
Not really.
We had one that sent to us and asked us to read through it because they weren't able to leave it on the voicemail. So with that, I begin the enviable task of reading it. So I apologize if I butcher anything or otherwise. And my name is Carl Thompson for the record. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Allie McCall. I have put almost 6 kids through this district in the last 20+ years. I'm down to my last 2 here, so I'm no stranger to our district or the board. I have also been the Head Start teacher for Adams County Head Start and worked in our cafeteria part-time, not because I had to, but because I wanted to. I really enjoyed our district and am proud to support the Bolton name. I have not attended many meetings lately, but have enjoyed hearing and seeing about them until seeing the last few. I spent mostly all my spare time supporting my children at their school and travel sports, which is very important to me. I trust and believe that we are basically doing a great job, as I know you can't please all the people, not even half of the time. I also can't stress the fact enough that I'm not friends with current board members, so this is not one-sided email with an agenda other than being a concerned parent and a taxpayer. I would like to share some concerns that I personally feel are valid as a taxpayer, a parent and longtime supporter of the district. First off, I am greatly concerned that we have a board member that wears body camera for quote-unquote protection. I feel that could possibly put others at risk and maybe be a danger to our other board members and attendees. I feel that that if someone needs to wear a body camera, that it could be a huge liability issue. The other board member also takes social media on the other occasions and is very negative about our district issues, and other board members, and myself included, were publicly voicing my concerns when I finally had enough and spoke my mind. Is that the behavior that we should have representing us? Most, if not all, comments, complaints are about specific people or issues that have absolutely nothing to do with our students or our district. I do not feel this is who we need on our board to represent us. Quite frankly, I find it distasteful and embarrassing. The media, open quotes, newspaper, close quotes, makes us look like a joke when in fact we are not. Examples are about another board member placing what I believe looked like a lunchbox in front of her face, and it was published in the paper. I in no way, shape, or form care whether a lunchbox is placed on the table when my child's education is at stake. Is this really what our district is about? Is this what we want people reading about us? Please tell me how, for the last few months, if not longer, this behavior is for, quote unquote, for our students. I saw another view of the board member and I could see her whole face. But you know what? I heard everything. Perspective is everything, depending on which direction you're looking at. We are focusing too much time on the petty behavior when we should be focusing on important issues that involve our students. Not what's on body camera, or someone is rolling their eyes or crossing their arms, body language, or even a bag in front of their face. That means nothing towards my children's education. I don't want my hard-earned money going towards unhealthy behavior. That's exactly what it is. I am frankly very mad about this, and it is relentless. I think it needs to end. Lastly, I'm concerned about public attendees and their conduct. I'm not sure they can be kept out of this, but I'm done. 5 minutes is up, sorry. Does everybody have this? It went to the full board. If somebody out there in the public wants to read the last part, and I apologize, Ms. McCall, that I wasn't able to read faster, but my wife told me to slow down anyway. You can contact your board member and get both this copy and the copy that was read by Ms. Donna. Everybody has a copy of this. So if they want to give them to you, or you want a copy of them, please feel free to get them. All right. Also in public comment, I was given a piece of issue here. This is a 1939 letter from Chris Lippy, and the yearbook, so I'm assuming from 1939, and I think the graduating class consisted of about 30 students. So if anybody wants to see it, and it's in pretty good shape for something that's 90-something years old. So we'll turn those to the archives, and I appreciate it. Okay. Now on to honor stuff, which isn't a word, so please don't yell. Mr. Gil Toomey, would you present us with our updates on the project?
Good evening. If I may, I'd just like to add my congratulations, especially to Lee and Cindy. I work with them all the time. We couldn't have two more dependable, nicer individuals here at the district. They've helped me considerably. Okay. Schedule status. It's hard to believe, but we've been at this for a year. Completion dates are still the same up there. We've had some issues with duration. Right now it looks like we're going to get back on schedule. We do have a contingency plan in case that we don't get back on schedule. We've been 11 months in as of August when these numbers were taken, and we haven't had any snow, so we don't have any lost weather days for the summer. Next slide, please. Tonight, we're going to be talking mostly about this area, Area C. That's this area here. And some things that are going on here in the boiler room, and a little bit in Area D that's part of which is under construction. Next slide, please. Okay, the block work on the exterior walls of the new building is completed up to the roof level. They started the brick veneer on the new building that you can see if you drive by it. The steel beams and joists are put in place on the roof for building C, which is the new part. The roofing steel was put in place and everything was welded together. The roofing of that building was started. It is, as of tonight, it's just about complete. We're just about under roof. And I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but in construction, the project can really start rolling once it's under roof because you're not going to have any water get inside and damage anything. The multi-purpose room has been painted, and they're starting to frame the interior walls in the office area in D that's becoming the new office area. Next slide, please. Sprinkler installation is ongoing. They're up to, they just about finished the first floor. They're done with the ground floor, and they're starting to move into the top floor. Plumbing rough-ins naturally are ongoing as they finish up in there. The boiler piping is getting done because we need to start the boilers up probably by the end of this month. Temporary electrical and gas hookups for the start of school were obviously complete because we got to start school. Some of the electrical work is still being done so that we can temporarily run the boilers and everything during the school year until Med-Ed catches up with us. Med-Ed's a little behind getting the new electrical gear in, as well as the gas from Columbia Gas. That's pretty nearly hooked up. The conduit work for new electrical switchgear is just about done. They're going to be pouring slabs for the generator and the switchgear. They started pouring some of it today. They'll be continuing that next week. Grading and seeding for the new parking area and some of the shrubbery is completed, and some of the miscellaneous areas around the tennis courts and the greenhouses is done. Next slide, please. We have a contingency plan in case we don't hit that Christmas date for the end of phase one. I sat in with your administrative people as they came up with that, and I'm pretty confident that should it be needed, it will work. Next slide, please. We don't have any outstanding issues right now. The electrical and the gas will be resolved as soon as the utility companies get caught up. Next slide, please. Costs, you can see the original project cost. Net change by change orders is $232,418. We're still under the percentage, which typically on a project this size is about 3% of project cost. Payouts approved to date, $19,159,953. That's what we paid the contractors so far for the project. Next slide, please. Okay, that is some steel being placed. This crane is placing steel on the roof. This is the what I'm going to call the south edge of the building. I have it listed as north face there. I have no idea why. That is the south face of the building. Next slide, please. That is your brick veneer going up at the new athletic entrance on the ground floor of the new building. To the left, over here is the wall of the multi-purpose room, and over here to the right is the wall for the cardio and weightlift area. Next slide, please. There's a view of that same area from the top floor of the new building, looking down on the construction. Next slide, please. That's the roofing steel